Hey guys, welcome to Chemical X. We're on episode 19. I'm with my co-host, Veronica Rossi, who just went for a jog, so bear with us.
Pretty much. I'm in my jogging clothes, and Alessia is, as usual, in a clubbing outfit.
In a wedding dress.
Wedding dress, clubbing outfit.
Yeah, we're shooting this on a Wednesday, and it's actually going to be the last day until they close all the restaurants. So I said, Veronica, my makeup is not going to waste tonight. I am fucking putting out an outfit, and my makeup is not going to be washed off. We're going to go out.
So we're literally, I'm looking as if I have a watch.
We're giving you guys 45 minutes of our time because we're late.
So basically, we have about 3 hours until we go into lockdown for a month. So let's make it happen. Let's make it. And I really came with a bang. I came in a fucking joggers and a cap.
Is that what you're wearing out?
I don't know.
Well, you have 2 minutes to change after, so start thinking.
Oh my God. Literally 2 seconds ago, I was complaining about how I started a new job and I don't like it. And 2 days later, I get turns out your job is closed. So you don't need to worry about that job you didn't like and you weren't good at.
No.
Literally, God said, we're not going to put you through this anymore. We'll just take your job away. And I went, you know what? I'm not so sorry about losing my job this time. This is not so bad. I could get used to this.
They didn't close the restaurant because they had to. They closed it because you didn't know how to serve wine. Let's be real.
That's literally the fucking prime minister came in and saw me shaking with that bottle of wine. And he said, just close the fucking restaurants.
I don't even want to hear the word COVID anymore. I thought we were kind of getting away from that name. We were starting our lives again. And I just feel like it's happening again. And
I'm just over it at this point.
I'm so over it. And every time we even speak about COVID for 5 minutes, I'm like, this is not what you guys want to hear us talk about because it's so annoying.
Ugh, I'm even like, I don't even want to talk about it, but I had to mention that I lost my fucking job again. So
crazy.
How many times can you lose your job in a year?
Crazy. I just want to talk about how my favorite time of year is Halloween. Well, it's both of ours for like the longest time. And it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be canceled because they said 28 days lockdown. And I was like on the phone with my friend. I'm like, hey, wait, so what's the 28th day on October 20? She's like, babe, it's the 28th. I'm like, oh, okay.
You're like, great, perfect.
My math is not great, especially when I don't even have to add. Like,
literally, what's 1 plus anyway? I just want everyone to know that if Halloween is her favorite holiday, you know she's a fucking hoe. So,
no.
And tell me I'm lying, though. Tell me I'm lying. We're creative. It's because we want to dress up bloody.
Last year for Halloween, I was in Miami and I wanted to have such an original outfit. I was like, Halloween is like, if you don't become creative, you're going out and everybody has the same costume as you. Because there's always 3 that year that everybody does. If Kylie Jenner did Christina Aguilera, the next year, everything that's going on is Christina Aguilera. Let's be real.
And then there's always like the cat, the bunny, and the cop.
And that's just because you went out 6 nights and the 6th night you had no other outfit. So you said whiskers.
Every year I am at least one of the days last year, I'm losing my voice. Last year I was a leopard because I just said, heck, I have the fucking ears. I throw them on, throw on the high boots, and it's a costume because you can only prepare for that one big costume. Yeah. You can't worry about the other days that your friends say, let's go out.
Yeah. So last year I was making my Halloween costume and I was like, hey, Veronica, like.
You were making your Halloween costume?
Well, I mean, Veronica was helping me with it. What was I like?
I was in her room on my knees with a glue gun while Alessia was going, I think add a sparkle there.
Essentially.
Pretty much what happened.
It's because you were not doing Halloween because you were working.
Yeah.
So I was like, bitch, live through me and help me with my costume.
I still somehow went out 3 days though. It had 3 different outfits.
But I just want to know that I basically took an old bra that I was never going to wear again and started putting white over it, silver. Anyway, you did a really good job. If I can find a picture, we'll pop one up, but it was sick.
She was essentially an ice queen, and
I was in Miami in a bathing suit. I went out in a bathing suit.
You were living the dream of all of us Montrealers who wear fucking snow pants under our Halloween costume.
Literally.
But you were literally an ice queen who just walked out of the Walmart diamond section.
The Walmart, don't give me that much credit. Out of the fucking Dollarama. Like.
But can we talk about for a second when we were kids and you wanted to put on your fucking sick ass Halloween costume and your mom said, but put a long sleeve under. And you went, honestly, I fucking hate Canada.
Or a tutu, or add like a fucking
put leggings under. Like,
outfit.
I'm leaving. Honestly, fuck Montreal for that.
I know.
So like at least stay hot until after the 31st. Like I don't care what happens after.
You just gotta be away for Halloween. And I'm like, this year, like, There better be something going on, or I'm driving to Toronto.
And it's the fact that we're going to have all of one day to figure it out and throw on a costume.
The only thing I could be this year that makes sense is a ninja. So I have a mask on without people saying, "Where's your mask?"
Well, I actually saw Fashion Nova. They already dropped their Halloween costumes. Every Halloween costume comes with a matching mask. And I was like, if you think that I'm wearing a mask, it's so crazy how literally a year ago, the schools would say, you're not allowed to wear a mask at school, Halloween. And this year it's, if you don't wear a mask at school, you're leaving.
I didn't even think of that.
You know what I mean? So remember how bad it was to wear a mask? And now it's like, literally wear a fucking mask.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But honestly, finally, I have a year, my dream, Halloween, couples costume with a creative boyfriend. And literally COVID said, you thought? No. They said, you're staying at home.
Veronica's like, it's true. Halloween's this year. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm not with my shitty other boyfriends where they never wanted to dress up, which, guys, not calling my boyfriend shitty, but he is not.
But when it comes to Halloween,
I'm sorry. If you're dating me, you have to be in the spirit. I don't care. I really don't care if you don't like it. I'm going to start spray painting
I'm just letting you know, last year she had a gun to his head and a spray can in the other hand. And she said, I'm spray painting your hair fucking green.
I said, babe, we didn't come all the way to Miami so that you can dress up in a jail outfit. Like, listen, that shit is premature.
Guys are the masters of putting a bandana around their head and saying, I'm in the army.
Yeah, or putting on a hat and saying a cop, or putting on a fucking jersey and saying
football player.
Ew.
You're a football player every other day of the year.
Like,
be fucking original.
If you were in like a Halloween contest, I would give you a fucking negative.
But I've always been like, oh my God, every couple's costume I ever thought of in my life, I had them all laid out ready to pick for this year. I said, babe, so Monday we're going here, Tuesday we're going here, Wednesday we're going here, and then this day we're doing 2
Halloween
outfits.
Fall on this year?
What do I look like? Fucking Google Maps. Google Maps.
I ask you for statistics. I ask you for everything.
Well, clearly I'm not looking in the right place because I just said Google Maps for the calendar. Anyways, so I'm very devastated. I'm a stutterer. I stuttered before we started this, and Alessia said it's going to be a rough one.
Yeah.
And it's a rough one. Needless to say, c'est rough.
Well, I said, should I tell everybody that today I'm alone? Because Veronica's wearing a cap and her hair is hiding and her eyes are hiding. So I just want to know, am I doing this podcast alone?
This is the epitome of the outfit that says, I'm a celebrity, don't talk to me. I'm just missing the glasses. So, babe, if you want to pass me my black sunglasses. But
no, the cap is, I'm spying on my boyfriend who's... we're not sure what he's doing, and let's just go check door to door.
This cap is, hey, I'm outside of your house. You want to take a drive with me, babe? And then you guys go drive by your ex-boyfriend's house. And you go, as if he doesn't know that you have a Yankees cap.
Speaking of dating, speaking of boyfriends, let's get right into it.
I mean, before we get into it, because I know I'm going to forget and you're going to pull your little pointer, I just want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Neonific. And as usual, guys, if you want a custom sign or a pre-made sign, we do have a discount code that gives you 10% off. So you want to get fuck bitches get money, you want to get fuck COVID, you want to get fucking Google Maps, get it on a sign, whatever color you want, pop it on your wall, 10% off. Chemical X at checkout. My God. Am I a fucking radio ad person?
You're getting really good at this.
Thank you. I'm actually taken, so sorry.
Well, really? Because you told your boyfriend that you had a boyfriend, and you're telling me that you have a boyfriend.
Speaking of, again, before we get into our real topics, for everybody who listened to the episode last week where I basically explained that my boyfriend has been poisoning me with Nesquik every morning, this week he was making my coffee, and he's like, babe, but like, were you like serious? Like, do you want me to not put Nesquik anymore? Like, you want? I was like, babe, look, like... Just do it. Like, just do it. Just don't. I don't want to see, but like, just do it. Like, just don't tell me, but do it.
That's when I want you to put.
Yeah, babe, look, we didn't have this conversation, but just do it. Fuck, don't fucking ask me. Just fucking put the Nesquik. I wasn't being serious.
Okay. When Veronica starts whispering, it always gets to the point where it's so quiet. It's almost creepy.
Sometimes when I'm editing, I'm like, hey, like, what did I think was
you're trying to pick up a fucking...
Hello.
Yeah, I'll pick up a girl.
Anyway.
Or a guy.
My God, here we go.
I don't want to get into this, but anyways, a long time ago, and I'm not going to start saying the word anyways, I was doing really good. A long time ago when I
don't know what you're going to say
about people being bi and everything. Now I feel like it's everybody's bi. I'm still not bi, guys, but anyway.
She's full lesbian, if you're wondering.
What was I going to say? Veronica had taken in high school the sex class. Was it the sex
It was in college, actually.
It was in college?
It was sex and sexuality.
Why do I always
It was actually gender and sexuality.
High school when it's college.
Crazy.
But I was like,
maybe because
no,
you were,
like I
didn't
just
attend
feel
college.
like if you're a guy and you take it up the ass, then you're automatically gay.
As we all know, very big misconception. And me and Alessia were probably pissed at each other for a week after that.
No.
After we had this fight, I said I hate her.
It's because the thing is, the older I got, like I realized that it's like, anyway, there's like different percentages. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? You're like, no, actually, we have our topics for today.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I mean, it depends what.
Well, you explained it so well that I'm like...
Yeah, but it's because I want to say that it's scientific, but I don't know if it's actually scientific, but it's widely believed that sexuality is on a spectrum. So it's not like gay, straight, or bi. It's like, it's very rare that somebody is like, let's say 100% straight. Like, it's so extreme to say, oh yeah, I'm 100% straight. Like, sexuality is so complicated. Like,
well, yeah, you were
some
telling
people,
me
there's a lot of different like ways. Like, some people could be bisexual but lean more towards girls or lean more towards guys, or somebody can be straight but still be curious, or like sometimes there's even people that are like, let's say straight. Like, let's say a girl, she's straight, she's into guys, but she can be only sexually attracted to girls, or even only romantically attracted to girls. So,
but
like,
what were you saying about percentages?
It's not percentages. It's just where you fall on like the scale of like when you say like imagine saying like this is gay, this is straight, and then in the middle is bi. Like where you fall.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
But how do you know exactly your percentage?
It's
or
just
is that
what you
not a
feel.
thing?
It's just what you feel. Like if you're like I'm saying, nobody is 100% straight. It's not like it's more of like it's more how you feel. Like some
could
people,
be 100. Like if
there's people that you're straight and then you hook up with a girl and you liked it, but it doesn't mean that you're gay.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It just means that like I said, sexuality is on a spectrum. Like it's not.
I feel like and I know this is really biased to say, but I feel like if a girl hooks up with a girl, it's not frowned upon as like, oh my God, like I say, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, but if my boyfriend or whatever ever took it up the ass or something, then I'm like,
it's a lot, but that's like
you're gay, and then if two girls hook up, it's like, yeah, that's fine, whatever.
It's just the way society works. Like it's
crazy to
like
think.
Yeah, but girl on girl is so much more like accepted and like even like encouraged and stuff. And then a guy, it's like, you would find out a guy kissed another guy and it's like right away, like what the fuck. But every girl I know in my life has kissed another girl. Do you know what I mean? And it means nothing.
For sure.
So it's funny how we can't even think as a girl who kissed another girl, you can't even put like, oh wow, it might be the same thing for a guy.
Yeah.
But it's just such a different
dynamic. When I was in
dynamic.
Toronto and I said both scenarios, I was like, if two girls kiss, like it's fine. If a guy takes somebody ass, like, I'm sorry, like he has to be gay. The guy right away said, no, what are you talking about? I was like, little defensive there. Anyways, just tried to bring a little.
You're like, well, clearly
this.
You know from experience, so please say more.
Yeah.
But I think so many people think that way. But it's really, but it could be. It could be true because there is going to be a lot of people that are going to use bi as an excuse because they're not ready to commit, and then it makes people think that. So,
and I just want to like clarify and make everybody understand that like it doesn't really matter what you are. Like nobody gives a fuck nowadays. Yeah. Like I feel like before, back in the day, it was like our grandparents and everything. It was more like serious. Now it's like,
I think
fuck bitches, get money, do what you want. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. I think also people care less like
about what people
no, but I think people are just more understanding of like sexuality in the sense of like before,
because they're more educated too.
Because before people were like, you can only be gay, you can only be straight, and it was
I
like,
feel
what
that
the
was
fuck?
Me in high school.
Yeah, but it's like, think of a guy or a girl growing up and like you're like, oh my god, I kissed a girl and I liked it. Imagine you think your only two options are being gay or straight. You're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, but now
it's
as
so
society goes on, like we're so much more educated about it. Like people understand that it's like a lot different than just like this label or this label. Yeah. But now it's like excessive. Like there's fucking all these words that I don't even know, and I'm going, whew.
I know.
When I had that gender and sexuality class, I was like, who knew? There's a million sexualities in the world, more than I even.
What did I choose to do instead? I probably should have taken that class.
You probably took astrology.
I took fucking Spanish. Bye.
Ew, you did. I did. Hola. Anyways, I really had some fun, interesting topics. I really had some interesting topics that I want to go over because last week, if you guys haven't listened again, go fucking listen and subscribe while you're there.
Go subscribe. Our followers have been going up lately, though. I'm kind of happy about that.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for the support.
Thanks, guys. Keep sharing us.
Yeah.
And honestly, write to us because, like, I don't know about you, Veronica, but when they write, I'm like so happy. It like changes my mood.
100%. I'm super. I love when you guys reach out.
Why? I just want to know.
Yeah, when my boyfriend laughs, I'm always like, okay, like
I'm like, are we funny? Because I'm pretty
I don't
sure
know if he's laughing
right
at
now.
me or if he's laughing.
We either
with
have
us.
one episode where we're so serious we make no jokes, or like last episode we couldn't even get to one topic.
Anyways, what I wanted to say is last week we spoke about like tips for guys, like how to know if a girl is into you, and we were just saying like a couple of tips. So I thought it'd be good to maybe give you fucking bitches some advice, since we're both in successful relationships, minus episode 4 where Alessia went through a minor breakup. But since we're clearly experts, we have some advice to give you on how to get a guy.
I mean, I have advice. I don't know if it's good advice. Like I said, when people say, how long have you been with your boyfriend? I'm like, are we counting hiccups or no hiccups? Because if no hiccups, then 2 years and 2 months. But if not, probably a year. No, I'm kidding. A little more than that, but you know what I mean.
Well, technically like 2 months actually. We're counting no hiccups.
Okay, no.
Well, I mean, like I said, episode 4. Was it episode 4? 6? I don't know.
But that was already like a year. Oh my God, I'm defending.
A year ago. That was 3 months ago.
No, I mean like I've already been dating him for a year after that.
Yeah, but hiccups.
One.
Anyway, so what I wanted to say was, since we're clearly so fucking qualified, we're going to give you guys a few tips on how to get a guy and how to know if a guy is into you. So I wrote some fucking notes down since I'm so qualified. I had to write them
you should
down
be qualified. You should not be
to
taking out your
remember.
notes.
That's what I'm saying. I'm so qualified I had to take notes.
If a guy is into you, then he's trying. He's giving you signs that he's interested in what you're saying. You say something to him, he picks up on it. He brings it up. He asks you about it. So like if you say you love chocolate cake, then he better fucking bring you a chocolate cake on your fucking first date.
And also remembering like little things that you do say. Like if he's listening to you, he's obviously gonna remember. And somebody who's into you is like, if you, like you said, if you say chocolate cake, you're gonna go on a date and he's gonna be like, oh look, there's chocolate cake, like you like that, you know? And that's a really good sign to tell if somebody's into you. And another like really good piece of advice is, however you act with somebody that you're not interested in or you are interested in is probably is the best way to detect how somebody else would act with you.
Oh yeah.
So like, let's say,
for
just
example,
take everything
in like, what do you look for?
No, but what I'm saying is, like, let's say when you're not into a guy and you're just like, you're answering him, you're not even caring. You're like, hey, you forget to answer him. It's 3 days. Hey, sorry, I forgot to answer your text. Or it's 3 hours because you're just not invested. When somebody is treating you that way, it's chances are because they are also not interested. So you have to pick up on those things and be like, okay.
Really? Because last episode we said if they take long, then.
No, but I'm saying like, I'm not saying in that sense. I'm saying like the ways where it's like somebody showing that they're not caring, like, to a certain extent, it's not playing hard to get.
No.
Like, it's just like they genuinely are not interested in you. So you have to always remember, how would you act if you weren't interested? And then try to look based on those signs. But like, so really good tips is like, he's listening to you, attention to detail, pulling out the notes.
He wants to chill with you.
Yeah. Like,
he wants to chill with you, but also he's not like, I hate guys who are like, they almost want to know everything about you so fast. For me, that's like a bad, like.
Or like, you know, when you're texting for like 3 weeks and you're like, okay, stop fucking texting me. We're going to get on our first date and I'm going to say, how's your aunt fucking.
But exactly.
I already know everything. Like.
Yeah, like you want to keep some mystery. And yeah, like as a girl, I think the most important thing is to be confident. And I know that like in today's society, it's so hard because there's so many girls. Like, we should talk about that for a bit, but like being confident is super important. And I feel like a lot of people, like, their insecurities come out, especially on a date, you know, and guys pick up on that really quick. So like, no matter how insecure you are, you have to be so fucking like.
Yeah, I think especially in the beginning, like, and this is more how to get a guy, but like, especially in the beginning, like, think about it. If you're insecure, if your insecurity is coming out, nobody is attracted to insecurity. And it's not to say like you have to attract somebody and you have to fake it, but it's like people are attracted to you. So if you're not confident in yourself, you're not going to show your personality. So being insecure is like the biggest way to not get somebody to be into you, because they can't see past your insecurity. If you're there and you're like, bitch, it's fucking me and let's do this and I'm hot, then they're gonna be like, okay, like then they can really get to know you because you're giving them yourself, if that makes sense.
Like, and like I know like a lot of the times we think like looks is really everything, but it's really not.
Well, I was actually quizzing my boyfriend on, I said, okay, babe, like I want to give some tips on like how to know if a guy likes you and like how to get a girl, how to get a guy and stuff like that. And his first thing was, well, does she look good? And I went, honestly, I'm over it.
No.
I said,
I
bye.
have to agree though, but it's true. But guys, girls, we both, it's a
everybody
thing. We
looks
look at like your looks first most of the time. And then after your looks, like, look, if you have a shitty personality or you can't keep a conversation or you have nothing going on, like,
yeah,
I'm sorry, looks fade, you know? Yeah. You have to have some kind of like...
And I think and it's not saying like you have to be a fucking 10 out of 10. It's just when you feel good and when you look good, you're going to feel good. And I'm not saying... get injections and get a nose job, but I'm saying like just like do yourself up and like make yourself feel pretty, whatever that is. You're gonna feel good, and then that attracts people. Like, yeah, you could be a 6 on 10 and you have so much confidence, it just makes you 10 times hotter. Like, somebody is gonna look in a room and overlook the girl who's a 10 out of 10 and look at you because you're showing confidence. You like it's attractive. Like, confidence is so the most attractive thing, and like guys will always say that, like, what's the most attractive thing? You like confidence, like after looks, but like obviously it's like confidence is something that just stands out in a room.
Guys, you have all the fucking time in the world when he becomes your boyfriend to be fucking crazy. You already locked him down. Who cares? He's stuck with you. He already told his mom, he told everybody he's dating you. He doesn't want to embarrass himself and break up with you.
Yeah, it's
you're stuck. So just save the craziness.
Save the crazy.
Catch the fish first.
Save the emotional. That's another thing. How to get a guy to be into you. I don't need to tell you guys this, but guys are fucking allergic to emotion. So if you're gonna meet a guy for the first time,
not all, but just don't bring your baggage around. I mean,
immediately it's a bit much to start talking to a guy when you're first talking to him, and you start like laying on him all this emotional stuff. And hey, can you help me with this? Oh my God, this happened and this and that. And don't get me wrong, you want to have a partner who's gonna help you in all these problems. But in the beginning of the talking stage, no guy wants that. A guy's gonna go.
Yeah, so, you want to be like super independent.
Lock
and be
him
like,
in.
I'm so happy with my life. Like, you being in there is like an actual like bonus.
You don't want to start throwing shit on them. They're gonna go, oh my God, this girl is
they're
so
gonna
much.
Be like, imagine dating this girl. She's gonna be crazy. She's
and
like
at this point, when you don't have feelings involved, you're not ready to like invest that time on somebody. So even think of yourself. Like, if a guy starts talking to you, he starts bringing out all these problems, you're gonna go, well, fuck, hold the phone here.
Think of it as like you. If a guy starts talking like that, you're like, hey, get me out of here. Give me a one-way ticket out of here. So the trick
is make them fall in love with you, then you pull the shit out, because then it's too fucking late. Then it's what it is.
And also, when you go on a date, I think it's really important, like, especially if you're feeling the vibe and stuff, like, be flirty and like touch their arm and show them that like you're interested, because guys pick up on that. Like, if you're like super like awkward, I feel like stiff, it's very hard
like
for
you in our first podcast.
Guys to like what?
I said stiff like you in our first podcast.
Essentially.
Ma'am, do you
I
want to
wouldn't just say
up?
First, and I would never, if you paid me, make me rewatch that video.
I would never in my whole entire life.
You could give me $1 million.
I'm pretty sure I deleted it off my computer. Millions on
$1 million, I'll watch it, but I will not like
Alessia.
I will tune out.
Literally, I have a cinnamon bun there, and if I gave that to you and I said watch the podcast, you would watch it.
Basically,
you're like, okay, 2 cinnamon buns.
But and I also feel like smiling, guys. If you're single and you're out there and you're like, hey, I don't know why like a guy is never approaching me and stuff, the resting bitch face, like, it doesn't work.
Alessia knows from experience because she's the master of the resting bitch face.
I don't have a bitching face.
You have totally a resting bitch face. You have a
bitching face.
No, I don't.
Okay, listen, I don't want to get in a fight on the podcast, so we'll take it outside.
I mean, sometimes I think I do, but a lot of people come up to me and like just start talking to me and think I'm super friendly. So I'm like, okay, I guess I don't have a resting bitch face.
It's because you're always dancing on the dance floor, so they go approachable.
They see me banging back shots and they say, looks like a friendly chick.
Yeah.
They say that's the kind of girl I want to talk to.
But yeah, smiling is really important. I feel like no guy ever wants to approach somebody who... Because guys, at the end of the day, their balls shrink this small when they're scared to get a no. They're scared. No guy wants to be rejected, and that's the truth. Like,
I think our problem is that we've never actually been in the position, and this is like sometimes we have like when Alessia texted the guy first and he asked for a peace sign picture to make sure it was her. But anyways, we're never in the position to actually be like approaching guys and putting our fucking pride on the line. Like it's always the guys. So we're there like,
the fuck do you think I am, Kendall Jenner? Do you know how many times I was obsessed with somebody and they didn't even know I existed? Shut up.
But I'm saying, how many times do we actually go in a club and start talking to a guy?
Yeah.
One. And it was the bathroom guy. And you said, is there a stall available? Like, I just spit on you. Whoops.
Fine, don't touch me. COVID.
Well, I just spit on you, so guess we're in this together.
What else?
No, but no. So yeah, I think it's really important to remember, like, guys are fucking shitting themselves. Like, don't be a fucking bitch. Like, sometimes I see girls in the club, they're so bitchy and they're like,
yeah.
And we've all been there. Give me the drink, and then suddenly you disappear. But give them a break.
Yeah.
Give
I know it's crazy, but like I've spoken to a few people and they said, and this is really weird because like normally when you go on a first date or whatever, you normally ask the questions like, what do you do for a living? And apparently like asking on a first date somebody what they do for a living is actually really offensive.
That's what are they, a fucking drug dealer? Like, I don't know. I think that's like the only time it's offensive.
Look at it as like, why do they want to know? Or like, I know. I don't fully agree.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? It's like, so what do you do? It's like,
so what's your salary?
Here for the long fucking run.
So how much do you make a year? And do you have any extra side jobs? Perfect. Yeah, but also I think if I would go on a date and somebody didn't ask me what I would do, I would literally be like, what the fuck?
Okay, guys, I know this is going to sound really crazy, but I went on a date once, okay? And normally every time I go on a date, I do a whole background check. I'm like, who's this person? Normally it's a friend of a friend. This time I was like, hey, like I really want to go out and I'm not paying for my dinner, so I'm going out with a guy. So I just pulled out my phone.
As we usually do.
I didn't even have like a dating app or anything, but I was just like, hey, this guy wanted
Single
to
is so fun. So many free dinners.
And I was like, hey, like, let me just go out on this date. And I did no background check. And then I get to the dinner and he's saying like, you probably heard so much about me. You probably, and I'm like, oh my God, like I didn't do my homework. Like, who am I out with? And should I be embarrassed?
You're on a date apparently with a criminal.
It came out that I should fucking be embarrassed. And it was very embarrassing. Well, and I was like, oh my God, this is why, girls, you always do a background check. Sorry. Like, but no.
Depends. Apparently, I don't know where you pick him, but apparently it's fucking jail.
Literally.
Yeah, I know you heard who I am, and you probably heard, and we're going to sit at the back of the restaurant.
That's the perfect example of what you do not want on a date and signs that you should fucking move the fuck on.
Yeah. But definitely, like, I think if somebody's not asking you what you do and not asking you questions, it's a bit like, ask about me.
Yeah. And, like, also, like, they say that you're able to, I know I said this in a podcast before.
100%. Literally, the podcast is called Red Flags.
And we're not talking about the couch.
Or the neon sign, neon if it chemical X 10% off.
You're able to tell, what'd you say?
I said, or the sign chemical X 10% off.
But you're able to tell a lot about a guy in the first like 15 seconds. So I don't know what those are because I take on the red flags. I say red flag, I'm there, but
you say I love red flags. I'm attracted to red.
Oh my God.
Like a bull.
It's because the thing is you go on a date and if you're with that fucking Francois guy who has all his shit together and he
Francois.
You know what I mean? And he's just like, everything is by the books and everything
basically
is good. It's
an
like
accountant.
Boring, like count me out. And I would never want to date a financial advisor because let me tell you, they're going out for dinner and they're going, you don't need that extra drink.
My ex-boyfriend was a financial
He's going to go, you don't need that drink. And you're going to go, yes, I fucking do.
My ex-boyfriend was a financial advisor. Actually, I dated a guy once.
Was he like that?
No. I was actually better at managing my money than him. So maybe RBC needs to fucking hire me. But I actually...
Would you still say the same thing now?
I don't know about that. I'll have to see his bank statement. But he can't see mine because he's gonna fucking send me for help. But I was actually dating a guy once, and he, like, we were like talking, we were seeing each other, and like he was so like I can't explain, like he was so money conscious and like obsessed with like making money and stuff like that. It was all like very money related. And at the time I had like bought like my YSL bag, the first time I ever bought like a nice bag, and I had just invested in like a car, like anyways, all this stuff. And it's like, I'm really not somebody who splurges like that, you know, like I do it for myself. And I remember he got pissed at me and said he was turned off that I bought a bag that I spent $2,000 on a bag, and I was like,
you're like, that Rolex you're wearing on your fucking wrist, that was okay though? Like, shut up.
Literally. And I was like, also, if you're so upset, take your 2Gs and buy me the bag.
Literally. And like, especially that he was somebody who was like financially able. That's another thing. Okay, I know I'm like moving on topics a little bit, but like, I have this friend that I used to know, and her boyfriend made a lot of money. They've been together 6 years, they lived together, whatever, and he made a lot of money and would always buy himself like fancy shit and like really nice things. So every time they'd be walking next to each other, she would never have anything and he did. And I know this might be really controversial, but I feel like, I don't know, if you're in that state where you're making a lot of money and you've been dating somebody for like 6 years and you've moved in together and everything, I would almost feel like at that point, like, it's almost like, well, get her something, or like, you know what I mean? It was always about him. He was always putting his money. She would be coming to him with like her literally ripped like fucking shoes, you know? And it's like, I don't know. I know it's a little off topic, but
that's a little weird though. Like, I wouldn't.
It was so weird. It was so weird. I just like never understood it, because I was like, normally, like when you grow, don't you want to grow together? Like, I don't know. Like, if you're so worried about your looks, then why aren't you worried about like, you know?
I mean, I guess it depends. I don't really know the situation.
I find that weird though. I find it so weird.
I find usually people with like a lot of money, like in my experience, people who've had more money always want like their girl or the people around them to like also look good, to also have nice expensive things and stuff like that.
That's what I find so weird. And I don't really want to go into detail because I don't want her to like hear this or whatever. But it was just like, he bought a house and she was paying the rent. And it's just like, when you're making all that, like when somebody's too cheap and like, I don't know.
I think it also, like, it's so, it's really, I feel like a common, and that we're jumping topics.
I know.
We'll go back to the tips on guys after, but I think a lot of times there's like that awkwardness where like when somebody in the relationship, and it's not always the guy, but when somebody in the relationship is making more money, and then it's like you guys are buying a house or buying something or paying rent, it's like, how do you split that? You know what I mean? Because like some people would say, no matter what we're making, we split it half. Or some people would say like, okay, I'm making more. Like, I'm making more, so I'll pay a bit more because I can afford it, and you pay a little bit less. Like, it's so, like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that the person who makes more should pay a little more?
I mean, can we talk after Chemical X makes it big? I'm kidding.
But do you know what I mean? Do you think that
I know
the person
what you
who
mean.
pays more
I
should
do.
pay more?
And I think this still goes back to kind of like my whole popcorn story last thing. I think like I'm so for woman equality, but at the end of the day, I still like being treated as a girl.
Yeah.
So I would say like I have no problem. Like I think the issue I have is the whole like everything half, split half. It's like, babe, I got the phone bills. Like, you get the fucking hydro, you know? Like,
but what I'm saying is, let's say, and I'm just going to put this, like, obviously this is not the case or anything, but I'm just saying, imagine you're in a relationship, you make more money. You make a lot more money than your boyfriend, okay? Are you guys still splitting equally everything? Like, let's say the rent, are you gonna split equally?
Well, I feel like people are gonna hate me if I say no.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, are you still gonna split it equally, or are you gonna pay more because you make more money?
I'm not in that situation, so I don't really want to answer yet. Because I don't know, so I don't want to talk about something I don't know. But I don't know.
I think it depends on the relationship, obviously.
It depends the relationship.
But it's like, if you think about it, like if you like, imagine you have a super rich boyfriend, it's like, obviously you guys are not going to go half on things. And even if you're super rich, you're not going to make your boyfriend go half on you when you can afford it and he maybe can't.
I'll give you a perfect example.
You know what I mean?
So my boyfriend and I were thinking of moving in together, and we were looking at apartments, and they were not cheap, you know? And it's like, if I were to be moving out alone, that's probably, I've had like my budget of what I'd want to spend on a like rental. So like, I don't know. I just think, it's not that it's 50-50, but it was more just like, I'll cover this amount and you just put in this amount. So it's like
this is what I'm comfortable paying.
Maybe like, you know, I don't want to say 80%, but like, I'll make myself better. I'll make myself sound better and say, you know, 60. But no, I think it's just it depends. It depends.
But I do think it's a really interesting topic. And I think it's so much easier. Like, if the guy's making more money, it's like right away people are like, oh yeah, but then it's like the society we live in now, there's so many successful girls and like
Girl
that are
bosses.
making money, and like guys feel so like intimidated that they can't afford the same things that she can.
Rihanna
So it's
speaks
like
about it all the time. She's like, I don't care that I'm Rihanna. I don't care who I am. Like at the end of the day, when you come on a date with me, like I want you to have balls. Like, and it's like it takes a specific guy, and that's why she got Leonardo DiCaprio, and confidence.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But to go full circle back to our tips, another thing that I wanted to talk about is like mixed signals. Mixed signals. Like, for example, a really good sign to know if a guy is into you is like he's gonna be consistently into you. Like, you don't just like somebody one day and don't like them the next. Like, that's actually not how it works. So if a guy is acting all sweet with you and the next day he's a fucking bitch to you or he's ignoring you or whatever, chances are he either has somebody on the side, he's talking to his ex, or he's not over his ex, or he's into somebody else. Because somebody who's interested in you will be consistent.
They'll be consistent.
They're always going to give you the same like energy. They're not going to start one day acting a bitch to you and seem like they're so not interested in you. So if you're experiencing that, like, you don't want that person. Even if maybe half of the days he seems into you, he probably has somebody else, or he's really not that interested. And as
girls, we're so like in natural habitat when we like somebody to just be like, yeah, no, he messaged me and it's good. We almost like protect, because that's what we do in like our nature.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he's like not consistent, boy, bye. Like,
yeah. And I just think, okay, yes, maybe he's holding you as an option, or maybe he's a little bit interested.
Yeah, that's another
thing. But you don't want that at the end of the day.
Like, you want to be somebody's first choice.
Yeah, but it's fucking true. Like, I would never, and it's so easy to get hooked on it, because when a guy is like giving you mixed signals, like you're always like, oh my God, you want to win them over, and it's a challenge and it's this and that. But like, realistically speaking, why would you want to force somebody to pick you? Or like, why would you want to convince somebody to pick you? Like,
and I also feel like people they like to like keep you around because they're not sure what their move is. So they just like throw you that hey every once in a while, just to let them know that they're still there in case they want to go back to you. And somebody like that, like, you don't want that, because somebody who's doing that is also doing that with 5 other people, because that's somebody who needs their fucking options open, and need to feel fucking sorry guys, speak to your boyfriend. Hey babe, did you say 80-20 or did you say you were paying 100%? Oh, okay, perfect.
I literally thought you were on the phone. Oh my God.
No, I didn't answer.
But
wow,
I literally thought she answered. I was like, holy shit.
Could you guys imagine if I had answered it?
Well, when you hung up, I was like, you're single.
He's going, bitch,
you're
zero.
Single, so you should rewatch this and take all the tips, because you're gonna need somebody else.
Oh my God.
But I do know, though, it's so easy to get sucked into, like, there's nothing like a chase of somebody who's not acting interested.
But I feel like the older I get, the more I'm just like, I'm over that chase a little bit.
A little bit,
You get, like, I feel like it's more like when you're younger, you're like, okay, chase. Oh my God, make him love me, make him want me. Even if I don't want to date him, let me make him fall in love with me. Let him be obsessed with me.
God,
and then
that's such a thing, eh? Let me make him fall in love with me.
Break his heart. You know, just... It's a thing. I'm sorry. Every girl's done it. Well, I don't know about every girl, but for me, it was like the high of like making somebody be obsessed with me and then being like, I'm not going to date him.
Yeah.
Kidding me?
Like, what, did you really think that I wanted you?
I just went for the fucking dinners.
But there's so many people actually, every girl is probably girls want attention. Like, well, everybody wants attention, but girls want to be wanted.
Yes.
Like, a girl wants to be wanted. So even if they're not really interested in a guy, they're going to lead him on and... But guys are less like that.
Girls are fucked.
Guys are like, meh. If they're not interested, you'll tell in the way that they're acting that they're not interested.
Yeah.
Guys are so don't give a fuck to put energy into things that unless they really like you, they're not going to put energy, and you're going to tell.
What would you say signs are that a guy just wants to fuck? Because I feel like a lot of girls deal with this. Like, they're not texting you. They're saying, what are you doing late at night?
At 2 p.m.
They're messaging you at
2 a.m.
2 a.m. 2 p.m. is a good time, Veronica.
Yeah, 2 p.m. you're in the clear. 2 a.m., however, not so much in the clear.
2 a.m. not a good time.
If he's texting you within work hours, probably he likes you.
Yeah.
Unless you work at a club like me, then he wants to fuck you.
David?
He wanted both. It's fine. He texted me both hours. It's fine. But I think that there's a lot of guys out there who want to fuck. And And all our tips go
fine.
on that, because a guy who wants to fuck is going to go on a date and not ask you questions. He's going to say, hey, I do all this. I'm so great. Sleep with me. Like,
I had this friend once who was like, she was like, so I really want this guy, but like he came to my birthday party and we banged, and she's like, well, what do I do? Because he didn't take my number down. And I'm just like, babe, like, you're not gonna date him. Like, I'll tell you right now, like, you guys aren't gonna be a thing. And she's like, well, why? And I'm like, well, because you gave him all of you right away. And I'm not saying, there's so many stories where like people like they bang on the first day and then they start dating and it just works. So there's no rule, but I just feel like if he wanted your number, he would have taken it. And like, I don't know, like, you have to...
If a guy
the trick about getting a guy to fall in love with you is to really attach with him emotionally first and then give your little kitty.
Little kitty. Oh my God, what is this, Tiger King?
It's a big kitty.
It's a big kitty.
But yeah. Would you agree with that?
I mean, we've already had this conversation and it could go both ways. You never know though, but yes, generally speaking, people like mystery, even as a girl. Like, we're talking in the sense of like whatever, but it's like if you sleep with a guy the first time, your mystery is kind of like, okay, well, you know, people like to have that like build up and like the energy,
sex
like
really good.
That's what makes even just like the talking stage so fun. If there's no build up, there's no excitement, and it's just kind of like fizzles out.
Let him miss you. If a guy is so into you and he's messaging you every single day, take it upon yourself to be not available certain days. If he's asking you every day, what are you doing? What are you doing? Sorry, Tuesday I can't. I actually have something. Show them that you have a life. You do not want to be available 24/7 to their schedule, because they will break your hearts.
100%.
So break theirs first.
Also, available all the time, they're gonna get over you. Another thing, and this goes with that, if you want a guy to notice you and be interested in you, literally make them miss you, but in the sense of like, don't start overwhelming them. Like, I know people that literally show up to every club the guy is at, and show up at the dinner, and show up at when they're at the fucking coffee shop, and I'm like
we said, crazy
you
bitch.
you need to chill, save that for later. But it's like, a guy and anyone in general doesn't want to be followed around. Like,
no,
a guy is gonna like you when he's out and he starts thinking, I wonder where she is. Like, she didn't show up. But if you're there all the time, he's going to be like, my God, this fucking girl, she's just everywhere. She's following me. And that's the quickest way to make a guy not interested in you.
And
like,
you always have to make a man feel like a man. The second you take away their, like, how do you say, like, their
masculinity.
Masculine.
Masculine.
Oh my God, I'm not even going to try saying it again because I'm going to fuck it up. But you take that away from that, they feel like this big. Oh, and once they feel this big, they're not interested.
Men are bitches at the end of the day. Like, you need to play around with pride. Them.
They don't want to get hurt. They're that's why I say smile, because the guy who you're bitchy, he's not going to come up to you. He's not going to confront you, you know, unless you have like, anyways.
But guys are very fragile. Like, you have to be careful with them.
As big macho as you think they are, they're not.
They're soft little teddy bears on the inside. But so I think that's a lot of good tips. And I wanted to get into... I wanted to get into some things like, oh my God, what am I, shy?
Oh no, I wanted to talk about it is a topic that's super, like, it happens so much, and a lot of people don't necessarily talk about it. But yes, guys, cheating happens. It happens. People know about it. Girls or guys could know about it. They could not know about it. But especially in Montreal, it's very...
I think everywhere.
But like, I don't know. Anyway.
I mean, I just want to talk about kind of like how girl code works, especially with things like cheating. Like, there's so many times where you can have a friend that is getting cheated on, and it's like, or sorry, you have a friend that's cheating on her boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever the situation is. And it's like, you know, what's the code there? Like, it's such a tricky situation. Like, and there's obviously, it depends every single situation. But generally speaking, you have a friend, she's cheating on her boyfriend. Do you back her up or do you snitch her out?
This is another part where I think is a little like, if it's your friend and they're cheating, I would never go out of my way to be like, hey, dude, your girl's cheating on you. But I feel like girl code, like, if a guy is cheating on a friend of yours, like, It's tough. It's honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say it's like the easiest topic to answer because it's very like, it's very debatable.
It's
honestly.
very situational, honestly. And I think girls are a lot more like willing to like rat on somebody than guys. Like guys, they don't care how close their friend, they don't care how much they love the girlfriend. They're never gonna snitch on their boyfriend. They will literally on their friend. They're like to the grave. Like,
but I
they
think
don't
even
care.
for us, if we know like one of our girlfriends is like cheating on her boyfriend, we're not gonna go out of our way to say, "Hey, Ben, your girl's cheating on you." Like we're gonna have her back. We don't, you know.
It also depends, but I mean,
it's
like
situational.
But my stance on it is like I've never gone and said like, "Hey, by the way, my friend is cheating on you."
Yeah.
But like, and I wouldn't. But I just my friends know my feeling on it. So it's like, you want to cheat on your boyfriend? I'm not gonna help you. I'm not gonna give you advice about it. I'm not gonna help you cover it up. Like, that's your thing. Do what you want. But like, I'm also not gonna rat on you. So you figure it out. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't respect it. I don't condone cheating. So it's like, you do what you want.
At the end of the day, like if you want to cheat, just break up, have your fun. But you know, a lot of the times people are married, they're in situations where it's complicated or whatever, and it just like it happens. And like, I just want to know, like, if you knew that, like, let's say like I was being cheated on, would you tell me?
1,000,000%. That's my thing.
Well,
it's like,
because I wanted to do both.
But
parts.
that's my thing. It's such a tricky. But I mean, there's no question about it.
But it depends how close you are with
that's
somebody.
what I'm saying. Sometimes, like, I'll find out that, you know, a friend of mine who's a general friend is getting cheated on, but then it's like, the information you found it from is from your mom's dog's cousin's babysitter, and then you're like, well, am I gonna go ruin a relationship?
That's the thing, though, because as much as cheating goes on, I also feel like a lot of girls and I'm gonna say girls because not mostly guys, they like to like, a lot of girls, especially single ones or whatever, they like to like say, you know what I mean? Like, it makes them feel better to be like, oh, that girl goes for that guy does this, or he, you know what I mean?
You
like,
all can't believe what everybody says.
But
like,
that's what I'm just saying that it's just like, also a lot of single girls like to like, they like to do that where it's like they stir shit up. You know, there's that too.
Yeah. But it's very tricky. Like, all I know, and this is how I always justify like what the right thing to do is like, if I was getting cheated on, I don't care if I met you once at the grocery store.
Yeah.
If you know, you better fucking tell me. Like,
but then you're also saying, but that's going against what you said. You're like, I'm not gonna go tell somebody.
No, I'm not gonna tell. But my friend's boyfriend. I'm not gonna tell my friend's boyfriend. But if you know me and you don't know my fucking boyfriend, it's like, you better tell me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, like at the end of the day, when it's your friends, your loyalty is to your friends, and you're not gonna go behind their back and snitch on them, even though, like, you know, what's the right thing to do? It's debate. Like, what's the most ethical?
I just think,
if and the thing is, though,
it's so
there's sometimes where you know somebody's getting cheated on, and you don't even know them really. You're not gonna go and start saying, hey, by the way, heard you're getting cheated. Like, you don't know the fucking story.
Yeah.
So
that's it. I think it's better to like, I think unless it's one of your super close friends, guys, you fucking tell her. But if it's somebody you know, and even if you know what's going down, like, just stay out of it, because chances are she probably knows.
Or it might not be true. And that's a big thing that stops people, is like, people are like, you know, but once the story gets to you, it's like, how good is this information really? And I'm gonna go actually ruin a relationship, and then it's on me after if it was true or not. And then another thing is telling somebody that they're getting cheated on, and then they stay with the guy. So it's like, well, what did I achieve here? You know what I mean? Like, there's also that you have to...
I think, though, it's your job to, if it's one of your super close friends, I think it's your job to, like, say it.
Yeah.
And then whatever they decide to do at the end of the day, that's on them, you know?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Every situation is different. And
every situation is their own, but...
Yeah.
I mean, look,
I'm just saying, if I knew one of my best friends was getting cheated on, I would 100% tell them without even blinking. But it was somebody I didn't really know, and I'd probably just stay out of it.
Yeah. And also,
but then I wouldn't also be that girl going around saying, do you know, he's cheating on her with everybody. Like,
see, that's my fear.
But I just feel like also a lot of times people do that, and they actually don't even know result. They don't even know, and then they start something and then make it into... Anyways, it's so tricky.
Getting cheated on or not, you never want to be the person who is getting cheated on. Like, that's the worst thing you could possibly feel, is like, if everybody knows you're getting cheated on and you fucking don't, like, oh my god, that's like, what the fuck? Like, just, that's the situation. So you have to put yourself in those shoes. But when you find out that
situations like that, like, I think you never, like, it's like, it stays with you. You know what I mean? It literally dents in your heart.
I mean, there's been a situation before where something happened while I was in a relationship, and everybody around me, all my close friends knew, like family, everybody knew, and nobody told me. So it was like months went by and like nobody told me. And then like finally,
we're going deep.
Yeah. And then finally, like somebody sat me down and told me, and it wasn't even the person that it happened with. Like it was somebody else who came and like confronted me about it. And I was so like, betrayed by everyone, because I was like, you know what, I didn't expect anyone else to come and tell me, but it's like, if you guys all know and you're all talking about it, like at least fucking tell me, you know what I mean? Like I think that's something that you have to also deal with what happened to you, and then also deal with the fact that your friends betrayed you essentially, and the people around you.
You have to get a new boyfriend and get new friends.
Exactly. It's too much in one shot. So just guys, if your close friend is getting cheated on, please tell her. Like fuck.
Literally.
But I do think though that it's such a tricky situation, and a lot of the times like girls can be very defensive too, like about the situation. Like nobody wants to hear, hey, by the way, your boyfriend's cheating on you, because nobody believes that. If you would be in a relationship and actually think that your boyfriend is cheating on you, you obviously wouldn't be in that relationship. So you're obviously confident in your relationship. So when somebody sits you down and says, you're getting cheated on, by the way, it's like, what the fuck? No, I'm not. How could you say that? Yeah. You're against me.
Or they defend their boyfriend so much where it's like, no, sweetie.
Yeah. Like, and it's just like, you have to understand, like, obviously there's truth, you know, there's many sides of every story, but it's like, a lot of the times that's what happened is the girl gets like offended and then they stay together, and then you just look like the bad person who tried to ruin a relationship.
Okay, so I'm changing it up. I'm not really changing it up, but like, okay, people say you want to be with a guy who's fucked a lot of girls and then found you, as per like hasn't fucked really anybody, and then like stays like meets you. Like, what would you rather have somebody who has slept around with the whole city and then has dated you, or vice versa?
Option A. And this is also a topic we already spoke about.
Did we?
Yeah, but definitely option A.
Which was?
When he sleeps with the whole city and then he ends with me.
Perfect.
You?
I don't know. Because I feel like a lot of the time, a lot of girls say like, I'm happy my boyfriend had his fun, he slept around. But then it's like, no, he's just a pig and he's still a pig. It's tough. It's like,
yeah, but it depends what it is. I also don't want the person that's up with two people and they're getting to
and
me
they're
and
unexperienced.
They're still aching for more. It's like, calm down, little puppy, because this is where it ends, okay? Yeah. So you better get used to my fucking face and my fucking pussy.
Literally.
And stop looking elsewhere. But like, that's why I just think that there's obviously pros to somebody who like experienced. Like at the end of the day, at a certain point, guys, I swear, are just like literally dogs. Like they just want to, they want to try everything. They want to see everything. They want to experience everything. So it's like, until they get that out of them, they're never going to be like, as much as they can say they're satisfied, like, you know, if a guy slept with two girls, like at the end of the day, he's still wondering what it's like to be with an older girl, or to be with this, or to be with that. Like for guys, girls are just flavors, and they're flavors of chips, and they want to try them all. They want to try them all. So to get a guy, and if you want to settle down with him and stuff, most of the time, like, he'll always have it in him to be like thinking about like other things that he feels like he didn't have. You know what I mean? And I just feel like,
so what Monica's saying is that David already fucked the 40-year-old woman, so he's good. He got that fetish out of the way. He also fucked the 17-year-old, so we're good to go. He is ready for Veronica.
Good to go where? To jail? A 17-year-old. Jesus.
Well, it's nothing you haven't done.
What does that mean? Yeah, when I was 17, maybe. And even then, probably not. No, I don't think I've ever fucked a 17-year-old.
All I'm saying is, like, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Get all of his fetishes out of the way.
He got his bucket list done.
Basically.
I'm the bucket list. You know how many wigs I own?
No,
I could be fucking anything, baby. I could be anything. I got the costumes. I got the wings. Like I said, I like Halloween.
Oh, my God. Are we talking with Hannah Montana over here?
We got the best.
I suddenly stopped singing because I realized how terrible my voice is.
Well, I mean, when you have a mic, you don't know what I do with this when I'm at home. You think my shower sessions are without the mic? As a vibrator? No, I'm kidding. That's you, Alessia. That's you. But fisting, miking. I just want to see if I missed any other good fucking great advice.
I've been on I went through a stage where I went on so many dates, and I honestly think another thing would just be like, be comfortable, go on a million dates, kiss a million frogs. The 101 will be good.
Oh my God.
I said million and I said 101, so that didn't make
Sketch.
sense. But I feel like when I first started going on dates, I was super shy, and I'm not actually a shy person. Clearly started a podcast. But by the time I kept going on them, I just became more comfortable in who I am. So guys, even if Jeanette is asking to go on a date.
What's these names? Francois,
I don't know.
Jeanette, like
Jeanette.
Where is she
use
getting
him for
this from?
experience. Cry in the bathroom. Done that before. Go back up like everything's fine, and then say, "I'll take a double vodka, please," on the rocks.
And then I'll take a shot on the side. But I just want to end the podcast with a hilarious story, just to lighten this up.
I have a story too.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, basically, this weekend, it was my cousin's communion. And us Italians, we party hard.
I mean, your family.
My family in particular.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. When I go to my family events, they're nothing like yours. I see your uncle who's... What do they have? Strippers at their, what,
their
40th?
birthday, their 40th birthday. They had strippers.
A girl and a guy.
Yeah.
One for the... Oh
yeah. But no, I have a very fun family. And I literally get people all the time saying, like, I literally want to be invited to your family events. So there's all like the COVID things in place where we could only be 6 people at a table, and it ended at 11 and all that stuff. So my aunt was like, yeah, like the guy, the event, the location guy was like, you know, it only ends at 11. Like, I don't know if open bar is going to be worth it. And my aunt was like, no, like, you don't know my family. Open bar is going to be worth it. And lo and behold, I went to my cousin's communion. Me and my cousins got fucking wasted.
You said, what time is it? 10:30? Could still not another 5 drinks.
Somehow I got home at 3 a.m. and I blacked out and I was puking at the end of my cousin's communion. So I just had to let everyone know that I got blasted at my little 9-year-old cousin's communion, a day of God, and ended up on my knees puking in the bathroom. So if you think you're at a low point in life,
at least you were praying.
I was almost there. I was praying. There's something about puking that I pray to anything.
Oh,
I'm like, please make it stop.
When you don't stop puking, you almost feel like you're gonna die. You're literally saying.
But you know what? It's different when you're puking from alcohol, because I feel like puking from drinking is almost like your body is
puking from what? What are you?
Like I'm saying, like let's say you're sick and you're throwing up. It's like you're literally just like ugh. But when you're puking from alcohol, it's almost like you're forcing it up.
Spinning.
Like the room is spinning.
Yeah.
You're crying. Like my boyfriend came in with a glass of water. I said, get out now. I'm gonna puke.
No. There's something about me, and when I have to puke,
he's laughing because it's a fucking true story.
When I have to puke, I do not want anybody in the room.
No one.
I want to lock. And it's so weird because a lot of people, they're just like out of it. There's one thing I always remember to do it. It's like, I don't mind one friend, but that's it. Like, I don't want everybody at the party to go, oh, what's going on over here? Oh my God. Oh, I guess I'll go pee in the fucking basket because.
Oh, and then as soon as they close that door, you know they're saying Alessia's puking in the bathroom.
And everybody at the party knows. So your best bet is to trust one friend, and even at that,
go alone, go solo, wipe your mouth freshener,
because or else the next day you're messaging everybody saying how embarrassing.
But I'm such a good puker in the sense where it's like I do not puke unless I am home. Like the only other time that I've ever puked in public was I was at a fucking casual spa downstairs of a casual spa in the bathroom. But I always make it home, and I'm
casual spa. How ratchet are you?
I know. That was a last summer kind of thing. But I swear, when I talk about praying and holy and communion and Sunday, when I was in that car driving to my house, like my cousin was driving me, I was praying to literally the rocks on the gravel on the road and saying, please just let me get home. I just need to get home. I just need to get home so I can fucking puke. Like when you're on the highway and you have to puke, it's like you know inside that you can't do it right now. Like it's the scariest thing of your life. About
like 2 years ago, or anyways, a long time ago, I went on a date, and I wasn't into the guy. I went on it. I was like, hey, we never know, like, whatever. You can't just judge, you know, just because you don't like his appearance. Like, go on the date and whatever. So I was on the date, and I was like, hey, guys, I put my lashes on. I put everything on. Let's just have a good time. Even if I'm just like, I know after this, I am answering one more fucking text message. Let me have a good time. And what better than to make him fall in love with me on the first date? It's the best thing to do, you know? Anyway, so I was drinking, but I was still thinking about somebody when I went. That's another thing, guys. If you're going on a date to get over somebody or whatever, take the time you need to just sob at home. You're never going to be fully ready for that first date. Yeah. But like, don't just go on a date to try and make your boyfriend jealous to hope that you're going to bump into him, win a new guy or whatever.
Oh my God.
Just to feel better, because you don't feel, chances are you're going to go out and you're going to actually feel worse, cry, and be like, anyway, so that's exactly what happened. I was like seeing this guy and whatever, and then it didn't work out and whatever. And I was like, I went on this date to like, you know,
get your mind off,
get my mind off things or whatever. And I was like, hey, whatever. He's bringing me to a good restaurant. It's fine. And then I kid you not, I was so not enjoying myself, but I was showing him that I was having the time of my life. I'm kid you not, I went to the bathroom and started bawling. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, when he goes to the bathroom, I might just dip. Like, I swear to God, I thought about that. And I have a friend who's done that before, but I didn't do that. And I was literally crying. And then I came up and I was like, oh my God. So I just started ordering a bunch of drinks. And then when I got in the car, like, this is when like I still live in Laval, but he lived obviously downtown. So to come drive me, you really got to be willing. You know, reservations are at 8. You got to figure an hour to come get me, an hour to bring me back. And you make them fucking work at the beginning. You make them come to Laval. You make them come to Chicoutimi.
Literally.
But when he was driving me home, I drank so much. I had to puke so badly. But I'm like, I just made this guy feel like this is the best date he's ever been on. I can't just
and you're going to start going
puking bleh. In his exactly. So I had to puke so badly. I was like, I was holding it in to the point where I was also so tired because I drank so much that I passed out in the car while he's driving me home. Veronica, I never told you the story. I knocked out, completely knocked out.
And I know the type of sleeper you are in the car. It's a this.
Yeah, with my mouth open. I'm catching flies. He hits me when we get to my house after 45 minutes of him having a talk with, I don't know, the fucking steering wheel. And he's like, we're here. Like, he felt like an Uber driver. I'm sorry. Like,
you said thank you 5 stars and you closed the door.
I literally did. I don't even think I said bye. I was so out of. I woke up. It was like,
well, when you're
pissed me off that he woke me up.
Yeah, like, it's like, why is my Uber driver touching me? What the fuck?
Yeah, like,
why am I in the front seat?
0 star for you. And I get out of the car and I don't even remember fully saying bye. And then the next day he was like writing to me and I was just like, no. Like, catch the signs, babe. I fell asleep in the car on the way back. We're not going to work.
Guys and girls, if he falls asleep or she falls asleep on the way back from a date, I think that is the number one sign he's just not fucking into you. So take all this great advice, put it somewhere where it's useful or not useful. Don't fall asleep on a fucking date. And that's it. That's all.
Just always spice it up.
Fall asleep sometimes, puke sometimes. Never know.
Yeah.
Spice it up. But thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next week. I feel like we're really
calm today.
Yeah, how we should probably be.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks,
See ya.